Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
So part 2 of the TMNT is here, and right now we have Donatello and we have Rafael, and they are pretty awesome top tier units. Best of what they do with their kit for all the fighters and the TMNT units are the best in slot right now, and they will be replacing so much metas and so much comps in the gameplay, and we'll be seeing this in the future. So now we're gonna talk about one of them, and in my next video I'm gonna talk about the second one. So I got lucky. I did 20 summons here, and I got in my first summon Rafael, and my second summon I got Donatello, and then I cleared the stage and I got another copy, I think, of Rafael or Donatello. I forgot who did I get. So as you see, I got Donatello here and I got Rafael here, which is absolutely great. I think this is very lucky for me to have both of them. Yeah, you have you get Donatello for free right now, and then you're gonna get another Rafael for free. So that's lucky. It was very lucky. Did I do 20 only? Yeah, only 20, and I got both of them, which is absolutely insane. So let's go and talk about them. Plus, you're gonna get a lot of summons, so they are available, and I would highly recommend going for them. Specifically for Rafael, we'll be talking about Rafael today in this video. So Rafael, he is a balanced character, a power character, very strong, very self-dependent, that he can only sustain on his own and buff your entire team. He's a trigger character unit. Is he better buffing than Gormagala Ken? 100%. Is he better than Evil Ryu at buffing? 1,000,000%. So let's talk about this. So first of all, his super, or let's talk about his passive. So his passive, Unstoppable Fury, and this is what you need to focus on. It's the Furious Scars that he has as a buff on the lineups, or as stacks that he put on your lineup or on the enemy. So when Rafael attacks an enemy, there's a 20% chance of inflicting one Furious Scar on the target, reducing their damage reduction and bonus damage by 1% each. Stacks up to 15 times, it means 15%, and lasts until the end of the battle. It can't be removed, which is good. It can be dispelled in PvP. That's what I want you to keep in mind as we test it. So also, when deployed in the starting lineup, of course he's a trigger character, you need him in the starting lineup, you don't put him in tag position. When deployed in the starting lineup, increase the damage bonus and damage reduction of all friendly fighters, all friendly TMNT turtles by 15%, lasts until the end of the battle, which is really huge. Really great. He buffs all the TMNT by 15%, and this is increases. So increase the chance of inflicting Furious Scar to 25% for each attack, every time he attacks. And it goes up to 30% at level 4. So level 3, upon inflicting Furious Scar, the damage bonus of all friendly fighters increased by 1%, stacking up to 30%. The damage bonus of all other teenage TMNT is also increased by 1%, stacking up to 30%, lasts until the end of the battle. Of course, lasts until the end of the battle. Why? Because each stack, they said it's stacking until the end of the battle. So if you get the full stacks on the enemy, your entire lineup will be getting 30% bonus in damage overall, plus the TMNT. Plus, if they are TMNT, they're gonna get additionally 30%. That will get them up to 60%, which is the biggest buff in the entire game for damage. We have the biggest one was 25% on Evil Ryu. Now it goes up to 60%, and he does it even more. So let's talk about his weapon, or his EX move. So if you summoned for the EX move and you got it up to level 3, you will unlock this skill. Upon inflicting Furious Scar, damage bonus to all friendly fighters by 1.2, getting them up to 36%, and getting all the TMNT by another 36%. So 36% by 36%, that's a 72% buffing in damage bonus. And who will benefit the most with this? It's Leonardo. Immediately, he's now one of the best damage healers. The second or third, he and Vega are going head to head for the second position. Of course, Fire Adon is still in the top, and now Leonardo will be on the top. He will be better than Vega. Why he's gonna be better than Vega? If you pair him up with Rafael on the same lineup, he will increase his damage output by 72% until the end of the battle. That's absolutely huge. But he will be a little bit needing more defensive capabilities, and we'll talk about that when we introduce all of our TMNT. So straight up, is he important? Yes, he's the second most important. So he's the first most important if you need to build him as a buffer alone for different other comps. But if you want to play him with Leonardo, they are the two main units that you need on the lineup. Now, of course, having Michelangelo with them, it means they're invincible. Nobody will die until the end of the battle, no matter what happens. And we'll be talking about that differently. These are the best. This is the best team. It's not Street Fighter Duel featuring TMNT anymore. It's TMNT featuring Street Fighter Duel. So let's talk about his super. AoE, very nice. Spiral forward dealing damage equal to 382% of attack to enemies in a large area. After unleashing this skill, gain 20% damage reduction and 40% effect resist for 8 seconds. It means in PvP he's awesome. It means embossing, fire, bleed, whatever they put on you, he can reduce or resist the effects that they will do by 40%, and he will have 20% damage reduction. It means survivability, he is good right now. At level 2, increases the damage to 439. And after unleashing this skill, gain 30% damage reduction and 60% effect resist, which make him a good solid sub tank. Now, his C1, and it's triggered by other units on your lineup using C1s. So what does it do? Unleashes a flurry of attack and strikes the nearest enemy 10 times. Now 10 times. Now, as we heard, when he attacks, he inflicts the Fury Scars, or the Scar Fury, or Furious Scar. So here he attacks 10 times. So your chances by the 30% that he have is to at least hit 3 stacks, which is absolutely nice. It means every time you're using the C1, every time he's attacking 10 times, your chances are higher to get that. And you will end up with the max stacks no matter what after 2 rotations. We'll be talking about that as well. So 10 times, dealing damage equal to 489% of attack in total, which is absolutely insane. This then perform a slash that deals damage equal to 180% of attack to the enemies in an area, also an AoE, so he additionally deals almost 200% attack. The slash, if the slash hits an enemy with 5 Furious Scars, now this is important, increase this fighter's damage bonus by 20% for 12 seconds. He increases his own attack on top of the 72% that he might get, or the 60% if you don't have the EX move. 60%, 20 more buff 20% of his attack to his own. It means he goes up to 80%. If this hit an enemy with at least 10 Furious Scar, deal additional damage equal to 215% of attack. Additional true damage of his own if he hits anybody above 10 stacks. Which means if they have the 10 stacks, he will trigger this one, he will get 20%, so he will go to 80% of buffing himself. So whatever damage he's doing, even the true damage will be buffed by 80%. So true damage 215%, buffed by 80%, which is absolutely insane. And why true damage is important? True damage ignores shields, ignores defenses, but it doesn't ignore defense reduction, or damage reduction. So keep in mind, this is why he goes hand in hand with Michelangelo, with Donatello, with Leonardo. So at level 2, increases the damage of his first 10 strikes to 562%, which is awesome. It means he deals a lot of damage, and his last slash by 215. If the slash hits an enemy with at least 10 Furious stacks, additionally deals true damage equal to 279. If the slash hits an enemy with at least 10 Furious, it goes the true damage to 307, multiplied by the 80%. Absolutely a solid trigger DPS buffing unit. So let's talk about his C3. His C3 is not complicated, but pay attention a little bit because you don't want to miss that. So it's also a skill that is trigger, but it only works, it doesn't work always, not when anybody uses any skill. It works when his combo one, which is this one, hits and he has 5 stacks on the enemy while hitting it. So you need to have the 5 stacks of a Furious Scar on the enemy. When he hits his C1, he will immediately launch his C3. So Destructive Rage combo. So here we go, where is it? Unleashes automatically when the slash of Destructive Rage combo 1 hits an enemy with at least 5 Furious Scar. Can only be triggered 1 time per slash. Great, only 1 time per slash. It means you can do it, have an interval. Can be only triggered 1 time per trigger interval 5 seconds. 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds you can do it when you have the full stacks, and you will have the full stacks, but every 5 seconds he will be doing that. So transforms into a whirlwind and sweep through the battlefield, AoE, to deliver 4 strikes. Each strike deals damage equal to 190% of attack to enemies in an area. Also gain 40% damage reduction while unleashing this skill. Gain 40% damage reduction. It means his damage reduction goes up. It means he will survive more. It means he will not die immediately. This is why I said self-dependent as his own. If the whirlwind hits an enemy with at least 10 Furious Scar, increase the attack of all friendly fighters by 15%, plus additional 10% for all TMNT for 12 seconds. On top of the 60% that he will gonna buff you, he will give you also an increase by 15% on all of your fighters. It means you go up to 75% in buffs, in total buffs. But this one, the 15% gets removed, gets again triggered every 5 seconds. It means you'll always have the 55% plus 10% more to the TMNT. It means if you go up 60% and the additional 20, you go 80%, and then you go plus 15, that's an 80 plus 90, that's 95, plus 10%, that's 105% buff on the TMNT total damage. This is insane. It means Leonardo is gonna be getting a buff almost permanently by 105%. You will see numbers that you don't see regularly when Vega is doing that. This is why he's one of the must-have units if you're building the complete set of the TMNT, starting Leonardo, then going him, then Michelangelo. I would say Michelangelo is the savior of them because he will give them all the survivability, so they will not get one shot or die. He will keep getting stacks and stacks and saving his team. So increase the damage of each strike to 221 and gain 60% damage reduction. What? Absolutely nice, 60% damage reduction. Whatever he gets, if he gets hit by 100, he gets only 40 of it, which is really good. If the whirlwind hits an enemy with at least 10 Furious Scars, increase the attack of all friendly fighters by 25%. So it's not by 15% anymore, it's by 25%, which makes them go up to 85%, which make the turtles go to 115%, I think, if I'm not mistaken by my calculation. And additional 15% to the TMNT, it means up to 130%. This is crazy. It's just a crazy unit. It's a crazy unit to have on a TMNT roster if you're playing the full TMNT. GG, you defeated the game, you defeat everybody. In the PvP, you'll probably two-shot the team, if not one-shot them by Leonardo alone. If the whirlwind hits an enemy with at least 10 Furious Scar, increase the attack of all friendly fighters by 30%. This is ridiculous. This is just absolutely ridiculous. He's busted. He's the most broken unit in the game right now. He's the best unit in the game so far, by the way, as a buffer, as a support, as a damage dealer. So, plus an additional 80% to the TMNT for 12 seconds. Absolutely insane. This is busted. I don't know what the devs were smoking when they created them. They were like, oh, you want something crazy? You want something crazy? Here you go. Rafael is the most craziest unit in the game. So, Fighting Spirit, Twin Sight. Okay, so HP bonus, attack bonus, defense bonus, and pressure. So, he's surviving, he's dealing damage, he has high HP, plus he has 7.5 pressure. It means he will not be evaded so much. It means the dodge chances are lowering and lowering. So, when this fighter attacks for the first time during the battle, he gets immediately 1 Furious Scar. And this goes up to 2, which is insane. It means he's consistent. So, at plus 5, when this fighter is in assist position, when the assisted fighter attacks an enemy, there's a 30% chance of inflicting 1 Furious Scar. It means this is why he's a must-have. Even on assist, you will be having a 30% chance to apply Furious Scar up to 10 times. And it will give you 1% of buffing. It means when you get it up to 10 times, that's a 10% buff for the entire team, because the Furious Scar will never get removed from the target that you are hitting, which is really good, but you don't want him as an assist. Nah, you never want him as an assist. You want him as a unit, core unit on your main lineup. Does he work at one copy? Absolutely, 1,000,000% yes. At one copy, he works. He will give you all of that. But if you build him up more and more, because his plus 30 is insane. Let's go and check it out. So, with the assisted fighter, if Donatello is assisting him, gain the trigger skill Storm of Madness and Reason. Unleashes once when prior fire, which is the combo 3, is unleashed. When it's unleashed, together with Donatello strike an enemy in a large area, with the phantom attack, dealing damage equal to 317 of attack, also gains 60% damage reduction while doing this skill, so it means increasing his damage. Would I recommend playing Donatello as an assist for him? No, no, no. The 4 units of the turtles, play them on one lineup. You want to play Michelangelo as a tank, you want to play Leonardo on the main lineup, and you want to play Rafael on the main lineup. You can play Donatello maybe on the main lineup if one of them is not built, but I would highly recommend that playing Donatello on the tank position because he will do his shenanigans. We'll talk about them in the next video. So, his plus 10, recover 20% of max HP upon hitting an enemy with at least 5 Furious Scar, trigger interval every 10 seconds he will recover HP. This is why he's self-sufficient. Plus 20, when this fighter enters the battle, he will gain 2 Furious Scar, not 1, for the first hit that he hits his enemy. You're immediately gonna get the buffs, no matter what happens. Plus 30, upon hitting an enemy with at least 5 Furious Scar, deal additional true damage equal to 25% of the attack. If the target has at least 10 Furious Scars, deal further additional damage, true damage equal to 27% of attack. And I see what they did there, Definitely not the Devil's Pitchforks, yeah, immediately. Everybody will think that. So, absolutely an incredible unit. Yes, he's the most broken unit in the game right now. He's a magnificent buffer. He's the best buffer in the game so far. I don't know what the devs were thinking when they did that. Now his scars. Let's go and read his scars. It's not the best thing in his kit, but it's absolutely something. So, 3 out of 3. When this fighter hits an enemy with at least 5 Furious Scar, ignores 30% of the target's defense, which makes him deal a lot of damage actually on his own. At 6 out of 6, when this fighter hits an enemy with at least 5 Furious Scar, reduce the healing received by the target by 60%. It means in PvP, this is a very good PvP unit actually, or skill. At 6 out of 6, you're gonna negate them from healing at least for around 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 60% of the healing will be mitigated. Absolutely an incredible unit. Very highly recommended. Now, how do you want to go about it? Like, what should we build? As free to play, I have all of these starlights. What should I build first? Build your Leonardo. Leonardo is the main damage dealer. He's absolutely needing a lot of investment. This unit works at 1 copy and becomes better when you build him in the future. You need just to have him on the lineup. Then build Michelangelo for more survivability, tanking, so you can play the full turtles. They will all accelerate with damages by playing him on the lineup. So that's the main units that you want to focus on, and then start building him and focusing on him, so he will deal even more damage with the stats that he gets with the copies that he gains more and more. And Donatello will be the last one. He's my favorite, but he's the last one for you want to invest in. He's also a buffer. He's a healer. He's a great support. We'll be talking about that in the next video. Absolutely amazing, amazing lineup with the TMNT, with adding Rafael with all of his skills. The most broken trigger character in the entire game. And yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up.